The spouse Allah has written for you is not lost. They are not late. They are not blocked by people, distance, family problems, or time. But listen carefully, because before Allah brings the right person to your door, He often removes the wrong person from your heart. You may be sitting there thinking, why is my nikah delayed? Why did that proposal disappear? Why did that person leave? Why do I keep making dua but nothing is changing? But perhaps something is changing, not outside you yet, but inside you. Allah may be preparing your heart before He prepares your home. Sometimes nikah comes closer when a person leaves. Sometimes nikah comes closer when your heart becomes tired of haram. Sometimes nikah comes closer when Allah stops you from chasing someone who was never meant to carry your future. And sometimes the silence you are crying over is actually Allah saving you from a marriage that would have broken you later. Do not think delay means denial. Do not think loneliness means Allah has forgotten you. Do not think because others are getting married before you, your story has been left behind. What Allah has written for you will come at the exact time your heart, your deen, and your future are ready for it. So listen with your heart, because these 6 hidden signs may show that Allah is not pushing nikah away from you. He may be bringing it closer in a way you never expected. Sign 1. Allah removes the person who was delaying your destiny. My beloved brothers and sisters, the first hidden sign that Allah may be bringing your nikah closer is often the one that hurts the most. It is not when someone enters your life. It is when someone leaves it. Most people think losing someone means they are moving further away from marriage. But sometimes losing the wrong person is the very first step toward meeting the right one. Allah knows what your heart cannot see. You may have seen love, but Allah saw pain. You may have seen a future together, but Allah saw betrayal, tears, endless arguments, weak iman, or a home without barakah. You may have been praying, Ya Allah, let me have this person, while Allah, out of His infinite mercy, was answering a different dua that you did not even know you needed. Ya Allah, protect me from what will destroy me. That is why some people disappear without explanation. A proposal suddenly falls apart. Families unexpectedly say no. Communication ends. Plans collapse. The person you were certain would become your spouse walks away. Your heart breaks and you wonder, why would Allah allow this to happen after I made so much dua? Because Allah is Ar-Rahman. His mercy is not limited to giving you what you ask for. Sometimes His greatest mercy is protecting you from what you desperately wanted. Think about it carefully. How many people entered marriages believing they had found their soulmate, only to spend years drowning in regret? And how many people cried because someone left, only to thank Allah years later when they discovered what He had actually saved them from? Allah sees the entire story while you can only see one page. The believer understands that every closed door is not a punishment. Sometimes it is divine protection. Every delay is not rejection. Sometimes it is preparation. Every heartbreak is not the end of your story. Sometimes it is Allah removing the chapter that never belonged in your book. The mistake many people make is that they keep running back to the door Allah has already closed. They continue making that person the center of their thoughts. They compare everyone to them. They replay old conversations. They keep checking their social media. They stop making dua for the spouse Allah has written, because they are still crying over the spouse they imagined. But how can Allah fill a heart that refuses to let go of what He has already removed? There comes a moment when Allah gently teaches you that your peace is not attached to one human being. Your future is not attached to one name. Your happiness is not attached to one proposal. If Allah has written someone better for you, then no person on earth has the power to steal that blessing. And if someone was never written for you, no amount of tears, waiting, or chasing will change what Allah has already decreed. When you slowly stop chasing what Allah keeps taking away, something beautiful begins to happen. Your heart becomes lighter. Your dua becomes more sincere. You stop asking Allah to force one particular person into your life, and instead you begin saying, Ya Allah, choose the one who will bring me closest to you. That is the turning point. because Allah often removes the wrong person before He reveals the right one. He empties your hands before placing a greater blessing inside them. He clears the path before asking you to walk it. He heals your heart before entrusting another heart to your care. So if someone has left your life recently, do not rush to call it a tragedy. If a proposal ended, do not immediately call it failure. If the person you loved walked away, do not assume Allah has forgotten you. Sometimes the greatest sign that your nikah is getting closer is that Allah is clearing away everything that would have prevented it from being blessed. One day, when Allah introduces you to the person He truly wrote for you, you may look back at this painful chapter with tears of gratitude instead of tears of sadness. You will realize that Allah was never taking your happiness away. He was protecting it until the right time. Sign 2. Allah begins to purify your heart before He brings your spouse. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most beautiful hidden signs that Allah may be bringing your nikah closer is that He begins changing your heart before He changes your circumstances. Long before your eyes see the right person, your heart begins to become the right place for that person. You notice that something inside you is different. The things that once distracted you no longer satisfy you. The conversations that once excited you now leave you feeling empty. You become uncomfortable with anything that pulls you away from Allah. It is as though Allah is quietly teaching your heart that a blessed marriage cannot be built upon a heart that is attached to what displeases Him. Sometimes people think they need a spouse first so they can become closer to Allah. But many times Allah wants you to become closer to Him first so that your marriage will be filled with barakah. A heart connected to Allah knows how to love without becoming obsessed, how to care without controlling, and how to remain grateful even when life becomes difficult. رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Notice what begins to happen. You stop asking only for a beautiful face and start asking Allah for a beautiful character. You stop making endless lists about appearance and begin making dua for taqwa, mercy, honesty, patience and kindness. Your priorities change because Allah is changing them. This is one of the greatest gifts Allah can give before nikah. A person who only chases beauty may lose beauty. A person who only chases wealth may lose wealth. But the one who asks Allah for righteousness is asking for something that continues to benefit both this life and the next. You also begin protecting your own heart. You become more careful with your gaze, your speech, your private conversations, and your intentions. Not because someone forced you to change, but because you realize that every act of obedience is preparing you for the spouse you keep praying for. You understand that if you want a marriage filled with sincerity, then your own heart must first become sincere. Many people spend years searching for the right person while ignoring the condition of their own soul. They ask, "Where is my future spouse?" but rarely ask, "If Allah sent them today, would I be ready to protect their heart, lead them toward Jannah, and fulfill the trust Allah has placed upon me?" The believer understands that preparation is also a blessing. Allah does not simply hand over precious gifts without first preparing the one who will receive them. Just as fertile soil is prepared before seeds are planted, Allah prepares hearts before He plants the blessing of nikah within them. So if you find yourself loving the Quran more than before, guarding your salah more carefully, leaving sins that once controlled you, making sincere dua with tears instead of desperation, and feeling a stronger desire to please Allah than to impress people, never think these changes are small. They may be among the clearest hidden signs that Allah is preparing your heart for a marriage filled with mercy, tranquility, and barakah. Remember, Allah does not only prepare your future spouse for you, He prepares you for your future spouse. And sometimes that unseen preparation is the greatest act of love your Lord can give you before the day your nikah finally arrives. Sign 3. Allah starts closing every wrong door so the right one can open. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the hardest signs to recognize is also one of the greatest acts of Allah's mercy. Before Allah opens the door to a blessed nikah, He often begins closing every door that was never meant to lead you there. At first, this feels painful. A proposal that looked perfect suddenly falls apart. Someone who promised they would never leave slowly disappears. Families that once seemed supportive suddenly change their minds. Opportunities you were certain would become your future suddenly come to an end. You raise your hands and ask, Ya Allah, why are all these doors closing? But perhaps you are asking the wrong question. Perhaps you should ask, Ya Allah, what are you protecting me from that I cannot see? The human heart naturally becomes attached to what it hopes for. We imagine our future with certain people. We make plans in our minds. We build dreams around names, conversations, and promises. But Allah is Al-Alim. He knows what tomorrow holds, while we only know what today feels like. He knows the character hidden behind beautiful words. He knows what people will become years from now. He knows which home will bring tranquility and which home will become a place of endless tears. Sometimes Allah allows you to stand before a closed door because behind that door was a life that would have taken you further away from Him. Imagine if Allah answered every dua exactly the way we wanted. How many of us would unknowingly walk into relationships that would destroy our peace, weaken our iman, and fill our homes with regret? Allah's wisdom is greater than our emotions. His knowledge reaches where our feelings cannot. There are people who spent years crying because someone rejected them, only to discover later that the person they desperately wanted became a source of pain for someone else. There are people who believed their life was over because a proposal failed, but years later they thanked Allah with tears because He had saved them from a marriage that would have broken their heart and perhaps even their relationship with Him. That is why the believer learns not to measure Allah's mercy by open doors alone. Sometimes His mercy appears as a closed door. Sometimes His kindness comes disguised as disappointment. Sometimes the answer to your dua is not yes or not yet, but I have something far better waiting for you. When Allah begins bringing your nikah closer, He also begins removing unnecessary confusion from your life. You stop chasing people who only give mixed signals. You stop waiting for someone who refuses to take responsibility. You stop making excuses for people who repeatedly hurt your dignity. Allah opens your eyes to things you once ignored because your emotions were louder than your wisdom. Slowly, your standards begin to change. You no longer ask, do they make me feel butterflies? Instead, you ask, will this person help me reach Jannah? You no longer become impressed by charm alone. You begin looking for sincerity, honesty, humility, good character, respect for parents, consistency in salah, and fear of Allah. This is not because you have become difficult to please. It is because Allah is teaching you to value what truly lasts. As these wrong doors continue to close, Shaitan may whisper that you are running out of time. He may fill your heart with fear by saying, everyone else is getting married except you. If you let this person go, no one else will come. But remember, Shaitan wants you to act from panic, while Allah calls you to act with trust. Panic leads people into marriages they regret. Tawakkul leads people toward the decree Allah has written with wisdom. Never allow the fear of being alone to push you into the arms of someone Allah never chose for you. Loneliness lasts for a season, but a wrong marriage can become a test for many years. Waiting with patience is always better than rushing toward a relationship that carries no barakah. There is another beautiful reality many people overlook. Every time Allah closes one wrong door, He is creating space in your heart for the right one. A heart that is still occupied by false hope cannot fully recognize genuine blessings when they arrive. Sometimes Allah empties your hands because He is preparing to place something far greater into them. So if you find yourself watching doors close one after another, do not lose hope. If people are walking away, if plans are changing, if opportunities are disappearing, remember that Allah never removes something valuable without knowing exactly what He intends to replace it with. Continue making sincere dua. Continue improving your character. Continue protecting your Deen. Continue trusting His timing. The day may come when Allah opens one single door that no one can close. A door filled with peace instead of confusion. A door filled with commitment instead of excuses. A door filled with mercy instead of emotional games. And on that day, you will look back at every closed door with gratitude, realizing they were never obstacles to your nikah. They were Allah's protection, guiding you toward the one door that was truly written for you from the very beginning. Sign 4. Allah makes you patient because the blessing is closer than you think. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most overlooked signs that Allah may be bringing your nikah closer is that He begins teaching you a lesson that every successful marriage is built upon: patience. Not the patience that simply waits for time to pass, but the patience that strengthens faith, purifies intentions, controls desires, and places complete trust in Allah even when nothing seems to be changing. Many people think patience means Allah is keeping them away from their blessing. But often, patience is the very road that leads to the blessing. Allah could bring your spouse into your life in a single moment if He willed. He does not need years. He does not need perfect circumstances. He does not need people to cooperate. He is capable of saying be, and it is. So if Allah chooses to make you wait, never think it is because He is unable. He is teaching you something that you could never learn if everything came instantly. Look at your own life. Think about the moments that changed you the most. Were they the easy days, or were they the nights when you cried in sujood because no one understood your pain except Allah? Were they the days when everything happened according to your plan, or the days when every plan collapsed and you had no one left except your Lord? It is in those moments that Allah builds a believer who is ready to carry blessings without allowing those blessings to pull them away from Him. Many people ask Allah for marriage, but they do not realize that marriage itself is one of the greatest tests a person can receive. Marriage is not simply about finding someone to love. It is about forgiving when your emotions tell you to walk away. It is about remaining gentle when you are frustrated. It is about controlling your anger when you feel misunderstood. It is about sacrificing your comfort for someone else's happiness. It is about carrying responsibilities every single day without expecting applause. If patience is missing before nikah, how will it suddenly appear after nikah? This is why Allah often trains His servants long before He grants them what they desire. Every unanswered dua teaches you reliance upon Him. Every delayed proposal teaches you not to panic. Every disappointment teaches you that your happiness cannot depend on one person. Every lonely season teaches you that Allah is enough before anyone else enters your life. Perhaps today you feel forgotten because everyone around you seems to be moving forward. Your friends are getting engaged. Wedding invitations continue arriving. Family members keep asking uncomfortable questions. Social media is filled with smiling couples, beautiful ceremonies, and happy announcements. Slowly, Shaitan begins whispering into your heart, maybe Allah has forgotten you. Maybe marriage is not written for you. Maybe everyone else will receive this blessing except you. But never allow Shaitan to define your future. Allah's timing has never been late for anyone. Not for the prophets, not for the righteous, and not for the believers who place their trust in Him. Delay is not evidence of abandonment. Delay is often evidence that Allah is arranging matters in ways your limited vision cannot yet understand. Sometimes Allah is preparing your future spouse while He is preparing you. Sometimes He is changing their heart while He is changing yours. Sometimes He is solving family matters you know nothing about. Sometimes He is protecting both of you from meeting too early, because if you had met before you were spiritually and emotionally ready, you might have destroyed what Allah intended to become a lifelong source of peace. Imagine receiving a priceless gift before you had the wisdom to appreciate it. You might lose it, you might misuse it, you might damage it without even realizing what you had. Allah, in His perfect wisdom, never gives a believer a blessing before its proper time. He gives it when that blessing has the greatest chance to become a source of barakah instead of becoming another trial. There is another beautiful reality that many people forget. While you are waiting, Allah is still rewarding you. Every sincere dua you make is heard. Every tear you shed in the middle of the night is known to Him. Every moment you lower your gaze instead of following temptation is recorded. Every time you choose halal over haram because you fear Allah, your reward continues to grow. Your waiting is not empty. Your waiting is worship when it is filled with trust and obedience. Never compare your timeline with someone else's. You may see someone marry at 22, another at 35, and another even later. But Allah does not write stories by comparing one servant with another. He writes every story according to His perfect knowledge, wisdom, and mercy. The believer's success is not measured by how quickly blessings arrive. It is measured by how faithfully they continue walking toward Allah while waiting for those blessings. Sometimes Allah delays your marriage because He wants you to build a stronger relationship with your parents first. Sometimes He wants you to become financially responsible. Sometimes He wants you to heal from emotional wounds that would have harmed your future spouse. Sometimes He wants you to become consistent in salah before you become responsible for leading a family. Sometimes He wants you to learn gratitude while you are still alone, so that after marriage you will appreciate what He has given you instead of taking it for granted. The believer who understands this no longer wastes the waiting season. Instead of counting the days until marriage, they count the opportunities to become closer to Allah. They improve their character. They increase their knowledge. They strengthen their worship. They develop emotional maturity. They learn kindness, patience, humility, forgiveness, and responsibility. They become the type of husband or wife they themselves are praying to receive. That is why patience is not simply about surviving the delay. Patience is about allowing Allah to shape you during the delay. And one day, perhaps on a completely ordinary morning, through a meeting you never planned, a conversation you never expected, or a door you never imagined would open, Allah may bring the person He wrote for you long before you were even born. On that day you will realize something extraordinary. Every unanswered prayer was not ignored. Every closed door was not rejection. Every painful goodbye was not the end. Every lonely night was not meaningless. Every delay had a purpose. Every tear had a witness. Every moment of patience was quietly leading you toward the exact blessing Allah had already written in the preserved tablet. When that day arrives, you will not say, Allah was late. You will say, Allah was perfect. And you will understand that the waiting was never separating you from your nikah. It was preparing you to protect the blessing once it finally arrived. Sign 5. Allah changes your standards from emotion to deen. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the strongest hidden signs that Allah may be bringing your nikah closer is that He begins changing what you are looking for. Before, you may have been attracted only to the outer things. A beautiful face, sweet words, a charming personality, attention at the right time, a person who knows how to make you feel special for a few moments. But as Allah prepares you for a blessed nikah, He slowly teaches your heart that marriage is not built on feelings alone. Marriage is built on deen, character, responsibility, mercy, patience, and fear of Allah. This change may not happen suddenly. It happens quietly. You may notice that the same things that impressed you before no longer impress you the same way. Someone may speak beautifully, but your heart asks, do they fear Allah? Someone may look attractive, but your heart asks, will they protect my dignity? Someone may give attention, but your heart asks, are they serious about halal, or are they only playing with emotions? Someone may promise love, but your heart asks, can this person carry the trust of nikah? This is maturity. This is guidance. This is Allah saving you from being fooled by the surface. Because many people are destroyed before marriage, not because they did not receive attention, but because they confused attention with intention. They thought someone's constant messages meant commitment. They thought someone's compliments meant sincerity. They thought someone's jealousy meant love. They thought someone's emotional words meant loyalty. But when it was time to make things halal, the same person disappeared, made excuses, delayed, confused them, or left them broken. When Allah wants to protect you, He teaches you to look beyond the words. A person may say, I love you, but do they respect the boundaries of Allah? A person may say, I cannot live without you, but are they willing to involve families in a respectful way? A person may say, "You are my future," but do they have the character to build that future? A person may make you smile for one night, but can they bring peace to your home for years? A person may make your heart beat faster, but can they help your heart become closer to Allah? This is the difference between emotion and Deen. Emotion asks, how do they make me feel today? Deen asks, where will this person take me tomorrow, and where will they take me in the Akhirah? Emotion becomes excited by attention. Deen becomes satisfied by sincerity. Emotion rushes. Deen waits for what is halal. Emotion ignores red flags. Deen asks Allah for clarity. Emotion says, I want this person no matter what. Deen says, Ya Allah, give me what is best, even if my heart does not understand it yet. When Allah begins bringing your nikah closer, He may remove childish expectations from your heart. You stop dreaming only about the wedding day and start thinking about the marriage after the wedding. You stop imagining only beautiful pictures and start asking, will we pray together? Will we forgive each other? Will we raise children upon Islam? Will we speak with respect when angry? Will this person be honest when no one is watching? Will they be gentle when life becomes hard? This is very important because a wedding lasts for hours, but marriage is lived every day. The dress, the decorations, the food, the pictures, the celebration, all of that passes. But character remains, salah remains, mercy remains, respect remains, responsibility remains. The way someone speaks to you when they are upset remains. The way they treat your family remains. The way they handle money remains. The way they respond when tested remains. The way they fear Allah in private remains. Many people choose with their eyes and then suffer with their hearts. They choose because someone looks good, sounds good, or makes them feel wanted. But they never ask whether this person has the taqwa to protect a marriage when desires cool down and real life begins. Beauty may attract you, but taqwa protects you. Charm may impress you, but character comforts you. Wealth may make life easier, but fear of Allah makes life safer. When Allah changes your standards, you begin to understand that the best spouse is not the one who only looks perfect in front of people. The best spouse is the one who fears Allah when no one sees them. The one who understands that your heart is an amana, not a toy. The one who does not use your love to control you. The one who does not use your weakness to manipulate you. The one who does not make you choose between them and Allah. The one who brings calm to your deen, not chaos to your soul. This is why a person preparing for nikah must be careful. Do not choose someone only because they are available. Do not choose someone only because you are lonely. Do not choose someone only because you feel pressure from age, family, society, or friends. Do not choose someone only because you fear that no one else will come. Fear is not a good foundation for marriage. Loneliness is not a good advisor. Pressure is not a good guide. The believer chooses with dua, wisdom, consultation, and tawakkul. Sometimes Allah delays your nikah because He is protecting you from your old standards. Perhaps if Allah had given you marriage earlier, you would have chosen someone only because they made your emotions feel alive. Perhaps you would have ignored signs of anger, arrogance, dishonesty, weak deen, or lack of responsibility. Perhaps you would have said they will change after marriage, not realizing that marriage does not automatically change people. Sometimes marriage only reveals what was already there. So Allah gives you time to learn, time to observe, time to mature, time to realize that not everyone who wants you is good for you, and not everyone who leaves you is a loss. Time to understand that a righteous spouse is not found by desperation, but by patience, dua, and wise choices. And as your standards change, your dua changes too. Before, you may have said, Ya Allah, give me someone who loves me. But now you say, Ya Allah, give me someone who loves you. Because if they truly love you, they will know how to love me with mercy. Before, you may have said, Ya Allah, give me someone beautiful. But now you say, Ya Allah, give me someone whose character makes my home beautiful. Before, you may have said, Ya Allah, give me someone quickly. But now you say, Ya Allah, give me someone when it is best for my deen, my dunya, and my akhirah. That is a powerful sign. Because when Allah changes your dua, He is changing your direction. When Allah changes your standards, He is protecting your future. When Allah changes what attracts your heart, He is saving you from running toward what may harm you. There may come a time when someone from your past returns, or someone attractive enters your life, or a proposal appears that looks good on the surface. But because Allah has changed your standards, you will no longer be fooled so easily. You will not only ask, do I like them? You will ask, is there barakah here? You will not only ask, do they want me? You will ask, do they respect Allah's limits with me? You will not only ask, can I imagine a wedding with them? You will ask, can I imagine worshipping Allah, raising a family, facing tests, and growing old with this person in peace? This is how Allah protects His servants. A heart that has been trained by Allah does not run after every feeling. It waits for what is clean. It waits for what is halal. It waits for what brings tranquility, not confusion. It waits for someone whose presence does not make you hide from Allah, but makes you remember Allah more. And my beloved brothers and sisters, never think that having higher standards means being arrogant. There is a difference between arrogance and self-respect. Arrogance says, no one is good enough for me. Self-respect says, I will not place my deen, my heart, and my future into the hands of someone who does not fear Allah. Arrogance rejects people because of pride. Wisdom rejects what may destroy peace, faith, and dignity. If Allah has made you more careful, more thoughtful, more serious, and less impressed by empty charm, thank Him. That is not coldness. That is protection. That is not hardness. That is maturity. That is not delay. That may be preparation. Because a blessed nikah does not only require two people who like each other. It requires two people who are willing to fear Allah with each other. Two people who know how to apologize. Two people who know how to forgive. Two people who understand that marriage is not a battlefield for ego, but a place of mercy. Two people who know that love is not only what you feel when everything is easy, but what you choose to protect when life becomes difficult. So if your heart is no longer impressed by what once impressed it, if you are no longer chasing people who have no seriousness, if your dua has become deeper, if you are asking for deen before beauty, character before charm, peace before excitement, and barakah before speed, then know that Allah may be bringing your nikah closer by first changing the eyes with which you choose. And one day, when the right person comes, you may realize why Allah changed your standards. You will understand why the old version of you had to go. You will understand why Allah did not let you settle for less. You will understand why certain people failed to impress your soul even when they impressed your eyes. You will understand that Allah was teaching you to recognize not just someone you desire, but someone who can become a mercy in your life. Because the spouse written by Allah is not always the one who creates the loudest emotion. Sometimes the spouse written by Allah is the one who brings the deepest peace, not the one who pulls you away from your Lord, but the one who walks with you toward Him, not the one who makes your heart restless, but the one whose presence reminds you that Allah answered your dua with wisdom, not just desire. Sign 6. Allah gives your heart peace with His timing before He gives you the person. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most powerful hidden signs that Allah may be bringing your nikah closer is not always that a proposal arrives, not always that a person appears, not always that a family suddenly agrees, and not always that your circumstances become perfect. Sometimes the clearest sign is much quieter than that. It is when Allah places peace inside your heart about His timing. This peace is not ordinary. It does not mean you no longer desire marriage. It does not mean you have stopped making dua. It does not mean you have become emotionless, cold, or careless about your future. No, it means something far deeper has happened within you. It means your heart has moved from panic to trust. It means your soul has stopped fighting the decree of Allah every single day. It means you still want the blessing, but you no longer hate the waiting. You still pray for nikah, but you no longer feel abandoned because it has not arrived yet. Before this stage, every delay may have felt like a wound. Every wedding invitation may have felt like a reminder of what you do not have. Every question from family may have felt like pressure on your chest. Every engagement announcement may have made you smile on the outside while something quietly broke inside. You may have asked yourself again and again, why not me? When will it be my turn? Am I not good enough? Has Allah forgotten my dua? But then slowly, without noise, without announcement, without any dramatic sign, Allah begins calming the storm inside you. You still see others getting married, but you no longer collapse. You still hear questions, but they no longer destroy your peace. You still feel the desire for companionship, but it no longer turns into desperation. You still make dua, but your dua becomes cleaner, softer, and more trusting. You begin saying, Ya Allah, I want nikah, but I want it when you know it is best for me. I want love, but not love that takes me away from you. I want a spouse, but not a spouse who destroys my deen, my dignity, my peace, or my akhirah. I want marriage, but not marriage without barakah. That is maturity. That is tawakkul. That is a heart being prepared. Many people misunderstand waiting. They think waiting means nothing is happening. But in the sight of Allah, waiting can be full of hidden work. Allah may be preparing your future spouse in a place you do not know. Allah may be changing their circumstances. Allah may be softening their heart. Allah may be removing wrong people from their life, just as He is removing wrong people from yours. Allah may be arranging a meeting through a path you have not even imagined yet. And at the same time, Allah may be preparing you. He may be healing wounds you would have carried into marriage. He may be teaching you patience before you become responsible for someone's heart. He may be strengthening your salah before you build a home. He may be purifying your intentions before your nikah. He may be making you emotionally stronger so that when marriage comes, you do not enter it as someone who needs another human being to complete your faith, your identity, and your worth. This is so important because many people think nikah will automatically save them from loneliness. They think once they get married, all the emptiness will disappear, all the sadness will end, all the insecurity will vanish, and all the wounds will heal. But marriage does not magically fix a heart that refuses to return to Allah. Marriage can bring mercy, companionship, comfort, and love, but it cannot replace your relationship with your Lord. If your heart is empty without Allah, you may still feel empty with a spouse. If your peace depends completely on another person, you may become controlling, fearful, jealous, or constantly anxious after marriage. If your happiness is built only on being chosen by someone, then every small change in their tone, every delay in their message, every disagreement, every misunderstanding may shake your whole world. So before Allah gives you a spouse, He may teach your heart to stand with Him first. This is why peace with Allah's timing is such a beautiful sign. It shows that you are no longer treating marriage as an idol. You are no longer saying, my life will only begin when someone chooses me. You are no longer placing your entire worth in whether a proposal comes or does not come. You begin to understand that your value was never waiting for a wedding date. Your value was given by Allah before any human being knew your name. When this understanding enters the heart, you become different. You stop chasing people who are not serious. You stop begging for attention. You stop accepting half-hearted promises. You stop lowering your standards because of fear. You stop entertaining conversations that have no halal direction. You stop letting loneliness push you into decisions that your deen would later regret. Instead, you become calm. You become selective in a wise way. You become patient without becoming passive. You still take halal steps. You still allow family to search. You still make dua. You still improve yourself. You still remain open to what Allah brings. But you no longer run after every possibility as if Allah has only one door for you. Because a believer knows that the one who created the heavens and the earth is not limited by the people you already know. Allah can bring a spouse through a family connection, through a proposal you did not expect, through a meeting arranged by circumstances, through a door that did not even exist in your mind yesterday. Allah is not trapped by your current options. Allah is not limited by your past heartbreak. Allah is not delayed by people's rejection. Allah does not need the person who left you in order to bless you. When Allah writes a thing, the whole world cannot stop it. And when Allah withholds a thing, the whole world cannot force it to happen before its time. This peace also protects you from comparison. Comparison is one of the greatest thieves of contentment. You look at someone's wedding and forget their tests. You look at someone's smiling picture and forget that every home has unseen struggles. You look at someone's early marriage and assume their story is easier than yours. But you do not know what Allah has protected you from. You do not know what Allah is preparing for you. You do not know which delay is actually saving your future children, your mental peace, your faith, and your home. Do not compare your chapter 5 with someone else's chapter 20. Do not compare your unseen preparation with someone else's public celebration. Do not think Allah loves you less because your timeline looks different. Allah gives each servant according to wisdom, not according to social pressure. Some people marry early and are tested through marriage. Some people marry later and are tested through waiting. Some people are tested with difficult spouses. Some are tested with delayed proposals. Some are tested with family pressure. Some are tested with heartbreak. But the successful one is not the one whose blessing arrives first. The successful one is the one who remains faithful to Allah in whatever chapter Allah places them in. When you understand this, your waiting becomes worship, your patience becomes worship, your refusal to enter haram becomes worship, your tears in dua become worship, your decision to protect your dignity becomes worship, your effort to improve your character becomes worship, your trust in Allah when you cannot see the next step becomes worship. How beautiful is the believer's situation. Even before the blessing arrives, the believer is already being rewarded for waiting in the right way. And this is where many people fail. They wait, but they wait with anger. They wait with resentment. They wait while disobeying Allah. They wait while entertaining haram attachments. They wait while comparing, complaining, and doubting Allah's mercy. But the heart Allah is preparing for nikah learns to wait differently. It waits while becoming better. It waits while becoming softer. It waits while becoming closer to Allah. It waits while saying, Ya Allah, I do not understand everything, but I trust you with everything. This kind of peace is not weakness, it is strength. It takes strength to trust Allah when nothing is visible. It takes strength to smile for others while you are still waiting. It takes strength to walk away from a haram option even when your heart is lonely. It takes strength to refuse a person who is not good for your deen even when you fear delay. It takes strength to believe that Allah's plan is better than the plan you cried for. And sometimes when Allah sees that your heart has reached this level of surrender, He opens the door, not because you forced it, not because you panicked enough, not because you chased enough, but because the time written by Allah has arrived. The proposal may come suddenly, the right person may appear quietly, a family conversation may open, a blocked path may become easy, someone may enter your life with seriousness, respect, and halal intention. And when it happens, you may realize that Allah was not late. Allah was training your heart to receive the blessing without turning it into your entire world. Because the best nikah is not the one that makes you forget Allah out of happiness. The best nikah is the one that makes you thank Allah more. The best spouse is not the one who becomes your qibla, your purpose, and your God. The best spouse is the one who walks with you toward the one who gave both of you life. So if Allah has placed a strange peace in your heart after a long season of fear, do not ignore it. If you are still waiting, but you no longer feel destroyed by waiting, this is a gift. If you still desire marriage, but you no longer want it through haram, this is a gift. If you still make dua, but your dua is now filled with trust instead of panic, this is a gift. If you can say, Ya Allah, I want what you have written, not what my emotions are forcing, this is a gift. This may be Allah preparing your heart for the door that is about to open. And even if the door does not open tomorrow, you have still won something greater than speed. You have won closeness to Allah. You have won emotional dignity. You have won patience. You have won clarity. You have won protection from desperation. You have won a heart that knows the difference between wanting marriage and worshipping marriage. That kind of heart is ready for barakah. So do not rush what Allah is perfecting. Do not hate the silence that Allah is using to shape you. Do not curse the delay that may be protecting your future. Do not think the absence of a person means the absence of Allah's care. Allah was with you before you knew what marriage meant. Allah was with you through every rejection, every tear, every closed door, every unanswered question, and every lonely night. And Allah will be with you when the right door finally opens. One day you may sit beside the person Allah wrote for you and remember the nights you thought nothing was happening. You may remember the tears, the patience, the confusion, the closed doors, the people who left, the proposals that failed, the prayers that seemed delayed, and with a heart full of gratitude, you may finally understand that Allah was arranging your story in the most beautiful way. You will realize that He did not make you wait because He forgot you. He made you wait because He was preparing you. He did not delay you to break you. He delayed you to build you. He did not keep nikah away from you to punish you. He kept it until the moment when it could arrive with more wisdom, more mercy, more protection, and more barakah. And when that moment comes, you will not say, "Why did it take so long?" You will say, "Alhamdulillah, Allah gave it at the perfect time." Sign 7. Allah makes you ready to build a home, not just dream about a wedding. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the deepest hidden signs that Allah may be bringing your nikah closer is that He begins changing your mind from dreaming about a wedding to preparing for a home. This is a very powerful sign because many people desire marriage, but they are only thinking about the beautiful beginning. They think about the dress, the celebration, the pictures, the smiles, the attention, the feeling of finally being chosen, and the happiness of telling the world that they are no longer waiting. But nikah is not only a beautiful day. Nikah is a lifelong amana. When Allah prepares someone for a blessed nikah, He teaches them to look beyond the wedding day. He makes them think about responsibility. He makes them think about patience. He makes them think about communication, forgiveness, finances, family, children, worship, sacrifice, and the daily reality of living with another human being. This is when you begin to realize that marriage is not just about finding someone who makes your heart feel alive. It is about becoming someone who can make another person feel safe, respected, protected, and closer to Allah. This change is not small. It is a sign of maturity. Before, you may have wanted marriage because you were lonely. You may have wanted marriage because you were tired of waiting. You may have wanted marriage because everyone around you was moving forward and you felt left behind. You may have wanted marriage because your heart needed someone to hold, someone to speak to, someone to love you, someone to make you feel complete. But then Allah begins to teach your heart something deeper. He shows you that marriage is not only about what you receive. Marriage is also about what you are ready to give. Are you ready to give mercy when you are tired? Are you ready to give patience when you are misunderstood? Are you ready to give loyalty when temptation appears? Are you ready to give kindness when your ego wants to win? Are you ready to give forgiveness when the other person makes a mistake? Are you ready to protect someone's dignity when you are angry? Are you ready to lower your voice when your nafs wants to be harsh? Are you ready to build a home where Allah is remembered, not a home where ego is worshipped? These are the questions Allah begins placing in the heart of the one He is preparing. Because a wedding may attract people, but character builds a home. A beautiful proposal may excite you, but daily mercy keeps a marriage alive. Sweet words may begin affection, but responsibility protects affection when life becomes difficult. Many people know how to start love, but very few know how to protect love in a way that pleases Allah. This is why Allah may delay nikah until you understand the seriousness of what you are asking for. You are not only asking for romance, you are asking for another person's heart to be placed in your care. You are asking for someone's trust. You are asking for a family to be built. You are asking for a partnership that will be witnessed by Allah. This is not entertainment. This is not a temporary feeling. This is not something to enter because you are bored, lonely, pressured, or emotionally desperate. This is a sacred responsibility. Sometimes Allah brings your nikah closer by making you more responsible before marriage. You begin to manage your time better. You become more careful with your money. You start thinking about halal income, emotional stability, family expectations, and your future children. You start asking yourself, what kind of home will I build? What kind of spouse will I be? What kind of example will I set? Will my future home be full of salah, patience and mercy, or will it be full of anger, neglect and complaints? This is a sign that Allah is raising your level. A person who is not ready for nikah only asks, when will I find the right person? But a person Allah is preparing begins to ask, am I becoming the right person? That question changes everything. It moves you from fantasy to preparation. It moves you from blaming delay to using delay wisely. It moves you from chasing emotions to building character. It moves you from waiting passively to improving actively. And understand this clearly. The right spouse is not only a person you find. The right spouse is also a person you must become. If you want someone who fears Allah, then fear Allah yourself. If you want someone gentle, then soften your own tongue. If you want someone loyal, then guard your own heart. If you want someone patient, then train your own anger. If you want someone respectful, then learn respect before marriage. If you want someone who brings peace, then stop carrying chaos into every relationship. If you want someone who prays with you, then protect your salah before they arrive. Many people make a long list of what they want in a spouse, but they never become the kind of person that list deserves. They say, I want someone righteous, but they are careless with their own deen. They say, I want someone loyal, but they entertain emotional attachments everywhere. They say, I want someone mature, but they still react with anger, pride, and silent punishment. They say, I want someone who understands me, but they have not learned how to listen, forgive, or communicate with mercy. Allah may delay the blessing until your character becomes strong enough to carry it. Because if Allah gives you a good spouse while your heart is still immature, you may not recognize the blessing. You may damage it with your ego. You may lose it through your harsh words. You may make the home heavy because you never learned patience. You may expect marriage to heal wounds that you refuse to bring to Allah. You may place emotional burdens on your spouse that only your Lord can carry. This is why preparation is mercy. Do not hate the season in which Allah is teaching you responsibility. Do not think your waiting is wasted if it is making you wiser. Do not think your delay is useless if it is making you softer, stronger, calmer, and closer to Allah. Every lesson you learn before marriage may save you from a mistake after marriage. Sometimes Allah allows you to see broken marriages around you, not so you become hopeless, but so you become wise. You begin to understand that love without respect becomes pain, marriage without deen becomes empty, beauty without character becomes exhausting, money without mercy does not create peace, a home without salah becomes heavy, even if it looks successful from outside. You see these things and Allah teaches you, do not only ask me for marriage, ask me for a marriage with barakah. That is a big difference. Anyone can get married by Allah's decree, but not every marriage has barakah. Anyone can have a wedding, but not every home has sakina. Anyone can have a spouse, but not every spouse becomes a means of peace. So when Allah makes your heart desire barakah more than appearance, sakina more than show, and deen more than excitement, this is a sign your heart is being prepared for something deeper. You stop saying, I just want to get married. You begin saying, Ya Allah, give me a marriage that brings me closer to you. You stop saying, I want someone so people stop asking me questions. You begin saying, Ya Allah, protect me from rushing into what will hurt my deen. You stop saying, I want a perfect person. You begin saying, Ya Allah, make me and my future spouse people of mercy, patience and taqwa. This is what maturity sounds like. And when this maturity enters your heart, you no longer view nikah as an escape from your problems. You no longer think marriage will automatically remove your sadness, insecurity, loneliness, or lack of purpose. You begin to understand that a spouse can walk beside you, but they cannot become your Lord. A spouse can comfort you, but they cannot replace your relationship with Allah. A spouse can love you, but they cannot heal a heart that refuses to return to the one who created it. That realization protects your future marriage. Because when you expect a spouse to be everything, you crush them with expectations no human can carry. You expect them to always understand, always satisfy, always comfort, always fix, always notice, always respond perfectly, and never make mistakes. But marriage is between two imperfect people seeking Allah's mercy together. The more you understand this before nikah, the more peaceful your home can become after nikah. Allah may also prepare you by teaching you how to handle disappointment. In marriage, not everything will go your way. Your spouse may forget something important. They may say something wrong. They may have weaknesses you did not expect. Life may bring financial pressure, family issues, sickness, stress, or misunderstandings. If you cannot handle small disappointments before marriage, how will you handle bigger tests after marriage? So Allah trains you now. He teaches you sabr. He teaches you to pause before speaking. He teaches you to make dua before reacting. He teaches you to forgive without becoming weak. He teaches you to set boundaries without becoming cruel. He teaches you to love without losing your deen. He teaches you that not every feeling deserves to be followed, and not every argument needs to be won. A person ready for nikah is not the person who never feels anger. It is the person who does not let anger control them. A person ready for nikah is not the person who never feels hurt. It is the person who knows how to heal without destroying others. A person ready for nikah is not the person who never makes mistakes. It is the person who can apologize, repent, learn, and change. This is the kind of person Allah may be building inside you during the waiting season. And perhaps this is why certain doors have not opened yet. Perhaps Allah knows that if marriage came earlier, you would have carried old wounds into a new home. Perhaps you would have mistaken control for love. Perhaps you would have expected your spouse to repair what only tawbah, dua, and healing could repair. Perhaps you would have entered marriage looking for someone to complete you, instead of entering marriage as someone already connected to Allah. So Allah keeps you in preparation a little longer, not to punish you, not to embarrass you, not to make you feel behind, but to build a version of you that can receive nikah with wisdom. And when you begin to feel this change, when you begin to care more about being a good spouse than simply having a spouse, when you begin to prepare for a home instead of only dreaming about a wedding, when you begin to ask Allah to make you a source of peace and not a source of pain, this may be a hidden sign that Allah is bringing your nikah closer. Because Allah does not only prepare the door, He prepares the person who will walk through it. Do not underestimate the quiet work happening inside you. The patience you are learning today may protect your marriage tomorrow. The anger you are controlling today may save your future spouse from tears tomorrow. The salah you are building today may become the foundation of your home tomorrow. The emotional maturity you are gaining today may become the reason your children grow up in peace tomorrow. The standards you are raising today may protect you from years of regret tomorrow. Nothing is wasted with Allah. Every lesson is preparing you. Every closed door is teaching you. Every lonely night is shaping you. Every dua is connecting you. Every struggle is refining you. Every act of self-control is building the spouse you are becoming. And one day, when Allah brings the person written for you, you may realize that the waiting season was not empty at all. It was the season where Allah taught you how to love properly. It was the season where Allah taught you how to forgive. It was the season where Allah taught you how to choose wisely. It was the season where Allah taught you how to build a home that remembers Him. The wedding day may be beautiful, but the real blessing is what comes after it. The real blessing is waking up in a home where Allah is remembered. The real blessing is having someone who reminds you of salah. The real blessing is disagreements that do not destroy respect. The real blessing is love that grows through mercy, not just excitement. The real blessing is a spouse who becomes a garment for you, protecting you, covering your weakness, comforting your soul, and walking with you toward Allah. So prepare for that. Do not only prepare your clothes, your room, your pictures, your celebration, or your announcement. Prepare your heart. prepare your character, prepare your deen, prepare your tongue, prepare your patience, prepare your ability to forgive, prepare your ability to listen, prepare your ability to serve, prepare your ability to choose Allah even when emotions are strong. Because when nikah comes, it should not find you empty, it should find you ready. And if Allah is making you ready right now, then thank Him. The preparation itself is a mercy. The waiting itself may be a gift. The lessons themselves may be signs. The change inside you may be proof that Allah has not forgotten your dua. He is not only bringing your spouse closer, He is bringing you closer to becoming the spouse someone has been praying for. So my beloved brothers and sisters, if Allah is removing the wrong person from your heart, if He is purifying your soul before marriage, if He is closing confusing doors, if He is teaching you patience, if He is changing your standards from emotion to deen, if He is giving your heart peace with His timing, and if He is making you ready to build a home instead of only dreaming about a wedding, then do not think your waiting is empty. Something is happening. It may be silent, but it is not meaningless. It may be unseen, but it is not random. It may feel slow, but Allah is never late. The same Lord who wrote your name before you were born also wrote every meeting, every separation, every delay, every protection, every dua, and every door that will open for you at the perfect time. But listen carefully. Never turn these signs into superstition. Do not say, this definitely means my nikah will happen tomorrow. The unseen belongs to Allah alone. These signs are not a guarantee from people. They are reminders for your heart. They are reminders to prepare yourself, to protect your deen, to keep your dignity, to stop chasing what Allah is removing, and to trust that Allah's plan is wiser than your emotions. Because sometimes the person you are crying over is not the person Allah wrote for your peace. Sometimes the delay you hate is protecting you from a home full of pain. Sometimes the loneliness you feel is not punishment. It is Allah teaching you that no spouse can replace Him in your heart. Sometimes Allah does not give you marriage quickly because He loves you too much to let you enter a lifelong commitment while your heart is still wounded, desperate, confused, and attached to what is harmful. So do not rush what Allah is preparing with wisdom. Do not destroy your peace because someone else got married before you. Do not let family pressure make you accept what your heart knows is not right. Do not let society convince you that your value decreases because your nikah has not happened yet. Your worth is not measured by a wedding date. Your dignity is not measured by a proposal. Your future is not controlled by people's opinions. Your story is in the hands of Allah. Keep making dua, but make dua with trust, not panic. Ask Allah for a spouse who will protect your deen, not just excite your emotions. Ask Allah for a home filled with salah, mercy, patience, respect, loyalty, and barakah. Ask Allah to remove from your heart anyone who is not good for your dunya and akhirah. Ask Allah to make you the kind of husband or wife who becomes a source of peace, not pain. And while you are waiting, become better. Heal your heart, improve your character, guard your salah, control your anger, lower your gaze, protect your tongue, learn how to forgive, learn how to communicate, learn how to be gentle, learn how to carry responsibility. Because the right nikah is not only about finding someone who is good for you, it is also about becoming someone who is good for them. One day, by the permission of Allah, the door may open in a way you never expected. A person may enter your life with seriousness, respect, and halal intention. A proposal may come from a direction you never imagined. A path that looked impossible may suddenly become easy. And when that day comes, you may look back at every tear, every closed door, every painful goodbye, every lonely night, and every delayed dua, and you will finally understand. Allah was not ignoring you. Allah was preparing you. Allah was not delaying you to hurt you. Allah was delaying you to protect you. Allah was not keeping nikah away because He forgot your dua. Allah was keeping it until the moment it could arrive with more mercy, more wisdom, more peace, and more barakah. So trust Allah when the door is closed. Trust Allah when the answer is delayed. Trust Allah when people leave. Trust Allah when your heart does not understand. Trust Allah when the timeline looks different from everyone else's. What is written for you will not miss you, and what misses you was never meant to complete you. Your nikah is not in the hands of your fear. It is not in the hands of your age. It is not in the hands of people's pressure. It is not in the hands of the one who left. It is in the hands of Allah, the one who knows your heart better than you know yourself. So walk with dignity, wait with faith, prepare with sincerity, love Allah more than the idea of marriage. And when Allah finally opens the door, enter it with gratitude, humility, and fear of Him. Because a blessed nikah is not just when two people come together. A blessed nikah is when two hearts meet in a way that brings them closer to Allah.